Hey guys, Sordex here, and today I'm bringing you another deck profile. This is gonna be a strange one because for the few people who actually went on YouTube on Sunday, I'm not sure when this video is gonna get posted, but I actually did uploaded this deck profile before. It got taken down because apparently there's some inappropriate content in that video. I'm not sure what it is. I'm not sure if the few people who actually seen the video know what it was. You can please leave a comment down below to tell me what it was. Other than that, I'm not sure. So I'm just gonna reshoot the deck profile again and upload it and see if that works this time. So yeah, so onto the deck profile. As you can see from this card right here, we are doing the Witch deck profile for the Genesis clan. They got a few cards. They got Genesis. The clan Genesis got a few cards in GBT04. And then the subclan of the witches in general got new cards in Fire's Collection 2015. So might as well did some little switcheroo with the cards, and this is what I got from it. So let's start with the deck profile. So for starting Vanguard, we now run Witch of Prohibited Book Cinnamon. Before I was using the Grade 3 Searcher, but now I switched over to her because honestly I think her ability is better than the Grade 3 Searcher. Her ability is on hit when she boosts a unit that hits the Vanguard, you put her into Soul, then you Soul Charge 2. So essentially you're getting +3 cards in your Soul when she hits. And it only works if you have a grade 3 or greater Genesis card. So it works when you're in grade 3 or when you stride, so which is a good thing. I like this card more than the grade 3 Searcher because it's for free. Well, not essentially free. You save Counterblast, and you need Counterblast for the other cards in the deck. But yeah, the great so Cinnamon is a really good Soul Charger on hit. We run her. So for grade 3s, for witches, there's not really much options for the deck. So one of the grade 3s we run, which is still the same like the old deck profile, is White Snake Witch Mint. So she is one of the legions for the deck. So her ability is Soul Blast 6. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, if it's in Legion, you may pay the cost. If you do, until end of turn, this unit gets plus 10k. And then the ability Continuous. All of your rear guards with Witch in its card name and your front row gets plus 5k. So just adding power, which means your opponent has to drop more cards to guard. And then this is before even getting triggers. So yeah, this essentially just gives putting a lot of pressure on your opponent to drop cards into their hand. And because there's an extra 5k on your rear guards, and itself getting a plus 10k, is forcing your opponent to drop perfect guard for the Vanguard attack, and then who knows how many cards for the rear guard attacks before triggers, and then after trigger as well. So yeah, it's a pretty good card in general. Her other ability is that you Counterblast 1 when you have another unit with Witch in a card name in your middle column. So either by itself with a card behind it, rear or behind her, or when you're in Legion, you can pay the cost. If you do, you Soul Charge 3. So essentially, you're just feeling Soul to use her Soul Blast 6 ability. So yeah, either way, Mint is a good card. But I've learned throughout playing with this deck that there's a grade 3 that you want to ride first, and which is this card. We run 4 Witch of Eagles Fennel. Fennel is the other Witch Legion for Genesis. Excuse me, and honestly, it's like your ideal grade 3 ride. So her ability is that when you Soul Blast 3 during the turn that this unit legions, at the end of the battle that this unit attacks a Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, search up for 2 cards with Witch in its card name among them, reveal it to your opponent, and then put them into your hand, and the other cards go back to your deck, and you shuffle your deck. So this gives you plus 2 cards with Witch in its name, and it's really good because it's ideal because you can get essential cards you need from her ability. You can get like triggers for guard, or use their ability, which I'll get to later. You can use it to grab perfect guards off. You can use it to grab grade 2s to call for backup in order to fill up back your field or for guard potential. So yeah, this card has a lot of her ability has a lot of like uses essentially. Then her other ability is that you counterblast 1 when you place her on the Vanguard circle. You can soul charge 3. That ability only works when you place her on the Vanguard. So after that, it's useless. But you soul charge 3. So again, essentially, if you're going to Legion that turn, you basically just field her soul to use her ability, or like feel your soul to use like any other abilities you're going to be using for this deck. So yep, that's the grade 3 lineup. Okay, for grade 2s we run 2, 3, 4 Black Snake Witch Chicory. I hope I'm saying that right. Chicory. Oh, I need to get used to for that one. So she is the mate to the Legion mate for Mint, and she is a 12k attacker. That's all. That's all you need to know. 12k attacker when you have a Witch Vanguard. That's basically it. Alrighty, next we run 4 Witch of Golden Eagles Jasmine. She is the Legion mate to Fennel, the other grade 3 Legion, and her ability is that you counterblast 1 when she is placed on the Vanguard, placed on the rear guard circle. If you have a Vanguard with Witch in this card name, you may pay the cost. If you do, soul charge 3, and then this unit gets plus 3k to the end of turn. Good is that you're able to fuel your soul to use any kind of abilities you want later on, and she becomes a 12k attacker. Con, it only works for that turn that you place her on the rear guard circle. So after that turn, she just basically becomes a 9k attacker. So she has her uses. Fueling the soul is really good, and that 12k attack that turn is pretty good as well. Then after, she becomes a normal 9k body. So yeah. And finally, the last grade 2s we run 3 Witch of White Rabbits. I'm gonna butcher Cardamon. Yeah. So if you remember in the old deck list, I used to run Witch of Ravens. I don't remember her name, but I know it's Witch of Ravens. Her ability is basically the same thing as her, but slightly different. So it's the same thing. You counterblast 1 when she is put from the drop zone from your soul. If you have a witch Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, call her to rear guard circle, then she gets plus 2k power. So the two major difference between her and Witch of Ravens is that she is restricted to a Witch Vanguard only, and she gets an extra 2k when you call her from her ability. Honestly, it doesn't matter which one you choose. I prefer to use her because she does get the plus 2k, more power to you, I guess. But yeah, and since the deck is basically witches, her restriction doesn't really even matter. So yeah, so 3 of her. I just replace her with from Witch Ravens. Okay, grade 1s we run 4 Witch of Peaches Bellini. That's how you say her name? Yeah, Bellini. Okay. She is the 10k attacker for witches. Nothing much else to say about her. Just that she is awesome. 10k attacker. So yeah. Next, this is one of the newer cards that came out in Fire's Collection 2015 Winter. This is Witch of Quillpen's Oneon. I'm not sure. Onion or Oneon. Oneon. Whatever. So yeah, so she is basically Cardamon, and Melissa, she is, if you remember Witch of Frogs Melissa, she essentially is her, but with the Witch restriction and plus 2k power, just like Cardamon. Nothing much else to say, so replace Melissa with her. That's what I did. So yeah. Next, this is a card that came out in GVT 04. 3 Witch of Melons Thyme. So her ability is that when you place her on rearguard circle, if you have a Vanguard with Witch in its name, which is most likely going to be, you can look at the top 3 cards of your deck. You search 1 card among them, put them into your soul, and then the rest to your drop zone. So she essentially fuels your soul to use your abilities, and then she also feels your drop zone for Legion. So yeah, and 3 of her, 7k body. So yeah, she's a pretty good card. And lastly, for the grade 1s, we run 4 of the old Witch Perfect Guards. We're not going to use the unflipping Perfect Guards. When I was playing with this deck, I didn't really have much problem with Counterblast. So yeah, so no unflipping necessary. We are using the Witch one because if you use Fennel's skill and you check top 5 and you get her, you can put her into your hand because she has Witch in the name. So yeah. And Perfect Guards are Perfect Guards. Okay, so trigger lineups, we run We run 10 crits. Obviously, 2 of them are witches, because it's a witch deck. We have the Margal clone, Kukurihime, plus 3k when you put her into a soul. And then we have this new crit trigger that also came out in set GBT04. Its ability is that you put, from your rear guard, you put it to the top of your deck, you shuffle your deck, then if you have a Vanguard with Witch in its name, you draw a card, then you check the top 3 cards of your deck, and then put 1 into your soul, and then the rest to the drop zone. So again, it's like Witch of Melon times, right here. You basically, you get to put 1 card into your soul, and then put the rest to your drop zone too. So you're feeling for Legion, and this works anytime you want, not GB1 restricted, just like Thyme. So you can use it whenever. Then other triggers, my 2 Tech of Dreaming Dragon. This card came out in set GBT04, like some of the other cards from this deck. So his ability is that Generation Break 1, you put this card to the top of your deck. At the end of the turn, you may pay the cost. If you do, take all the cards from your drop zone, put it to your deck, shuffle your deck. And then if you return 10 cards or more, you draw a card. So basically, this card just helped me with not decking out. I know with Fennel and Mint, when you Legion, you're sending 4 cards back. But there are some situations where I find myself that I am almost decked out, like really badly, and Legioning is not going to help me. So I'm just teching 2 Dreaming Dragons just for that, just for the safety net that I don't deck out. Also, it's fun to throw off your opponent when they see a stand trigger. Is like, oh no, I have to deal with another attack again. So yeah. And then lastly, 4 Witch heal triggers, because heals are going to heal, and Witch in the name because it's a Witch deck. Yep. So that's it. Oops, that is it for the main deck, and now we shall go. We shall move on to the G zone. So for G zone, run 2 of the new Witch Stride. Witch Queen of the Holy Water, Clove. So her ability is that auto Soul Blast 6. When this unit attacks the Vanguard, if you have a heart with Witch in its name, you may pay the cost. If you do, you until the end of turn, it gets the ability Continuous. During your turn, all of your units with Witch in its card name gets plus 5k power. So since it says all units, so I believe that includes itself as well, because it doesn't say all rearguard, it says all units. So she also gets the plus 5k. And then if you have 2 or more hearts, she gets plus 1 crit. So basically, you want to Legion first before you stride onto her. And yeah, in order to get that plus 1 crit. Just a reminder for any new players, I guess, for new players, the active Legion isn't the Legion ability, like in order to Legion, is an act skill. You can't Legion first and then stride. I'm just pointing that out in case people forgot, or for people who are new to the game, because striding happens before the main phase. So yeah, just run 2 of her because there are other strides you will want to run, but she is good for this deck for obvious reason, which is Witch. So yeah. The next strides, 4 Vanguards. Honestly, he's like probably like staple in like every Genesis deck now. So his ability is Generation Break 2, Soul Blast 6, and Persona Flip. When he attacks the Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, he gets the ability Auto. At the beginning of your drive step, you look at the top 4 cards of your deck, search up to 4 cards from among them, put them on the top of the deck in any order, then put the rest to the bottom of the deck. So basically, you're predicting the future. I think I said that in my finger deck profile, but yeah, you're predicting the future. You're going to stack your triggers. You're going to make sure you get your triggers. Is it a 3 to pass? You're making sure you're getting 3 to pass. Perfect graded? Okay, I'm just going to put triggers to my rears. Whoop-de-doo. What are you going to do about that? So yeah, for Vanaganders, because he's essential. Next we have one Goddess of Ferment, Diane. Her ability is Soul Blast 3 on hit Vanguard. You check top 3 cards, put 1 into your hand, the rest to your soul. So basically, you're getting a +1 card from your hand, and you're getting +2 into your soul, which is good for fueling your other abilities. And lastly, we run one Doom Brace. He's just there because just in case you don't have the soul for some reason. If you don't have the soul, so his ability is Soul Blast 3. Choose up to 2 of your rear guards. They each get +5k. And then if you have 2 cards or less in your soul, you soul charge 3. So yeah, that's about it for explaining the strides. So basically, ideally, if you're on your grade 3, if you're second, I highly suggest you Legion. Well, you'll be riding into her first, actually. She's your grade 3 ride. So if you're going second, preferably you might want to Legion first, and then fuel your soul up, so then you can strat onto Clove. Other than that, if you don't have enough soul, you can strat onto Doom Brace to fill up your soul, or for Dione for on hit pressure. Then if you have enough soul, you can strat onto Dione if you're in Legion. If you're not in Legion but you have enough soul to do Vanagander, then I suggest you do that too. But yeah, whatever you strat to is very situational. It depends on it depends on what's your situation at with your Vanguard and what's your soul, how much soul you have in there right now. But yeah, that's it for this deck profile, guys. This deck is pretty fun to play with. I totally recommend you guys play this deck if you get the chance. Borrow it from a friend, because it is a really fun deck to play. But other than that, that's it for this deck profile, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!